Hey guys, welcome back to another video in our mini series on React hooks. So in this video, we will learn how to create our own custom React hook. We will write two different types of custom hooks so that you feel very comfortable in writing your own custom hook for your projects. So if this sounds interesting, then stick around. Also, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I have a very simple React application with a single component, which is our app component. And inside the app component, we are using our favorite counter example again. So here we are using the counter example and we are managing the state with the use state. So if you don't know about the use state, I have a video on it. You can click on the card above and jump to it directly. Then we have two functions. One is the increment of the counter and other one is the decrement of the counter. And when we click on the button, we actually call the increment function or the decrement function. So right now, if I click on the increment, the counter increments, and if I click on the decrement, the counter decrements. But what I don't want all the logic of my counter and everything in my app component. I want to create a custom hook where I can pass the initial value, and the custom hook should expose the value and the increment and decrement function. So to create a custom hook, what we will do, we are going to create a new file. So I will go here and I'm going to create a new file. And it's a convention that whenever you create a custom hook, you always use the same convention like the use state, use effect. So we are going to name it as use counter. So I'm going to name it as use counter.js. Okay, so we have the use counter.js, our custom hook file. And the first thing we will do, we are going to do an export default and we will write the function, and our function name is use counter. All right, so now we have the function. So while creating a custom React hook, we can make use of the inbuilt React hooks. Like if I want to use the use state, then I can use the use state in my use counter. So what I will do, I'm going to import the use state. So I'm going to import the use state from React. So I'm going to write a use state here. So let's add the use state. All right, and we will do the same thing what we have done it here. So here we take a counter, we do a set counter for the use state. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to create a constant and I'm going to have a value, and then I'm going to have a set value function. So this will be a set value and I will make use of the use state. So this use state will get an initial value. So let me add an initial value here. So I will add an initial value, and our custom hook will get the initial value when we are going to use this custom hook. All right, so we have added the initial value, and what I want that my custom hook should return three things. So I'm going to make a return, and it's going to return the value itself, which we want to display it on the screen. And then it should also expose the increment function and it should expose the decrement function. So I'm going to write here as decrement. All right, so we have the increment and the decrement function, and I made a little bit typos. So yep. So now we need to write this increment and decrement function. So what we can do, we are going to create a constant, and that constant will be equals to increment. And this function will be exactly same as the increment and decrement we have written it here. So we can actually take it here. We can copy this and we can actually add it here. So I'm going to paste it here. And instead of the set counter, this value will become the set value. And here we need to add the set value. All right, so now we have created our custom counter React hook. Now let's try and use this hook inside our app.js. So inside my app.js, I'm just going to comment this out for now. And what I will do, I'm going to create a constant. And what are we exposing? We are exposing the value of the counter. We are having the increment function, and we will have the decrement function. So let's add the decrement function, and this will be equals to the use counter. So this is counter, I have imported it, and I need to pass an initial value. So let's pass an initial value as 0. All right, I will save it. So this is giving me an error in the use counter. So let's go to the use counter, and here this counter will get changed to the value. So I'm going to copy this value here and let's add it here. All right, so now we have done it, and now let's try it. If I click on the increment, it should increment the number. So is it working? And if I do a decrement, it's working. So this is how we have created this custom hook for the use counter. Now we can make more modification in it. So let me do one more thing. If I want to add one more button, which is the reset button, then we can do that. So what I will do, I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to add it here, and I will make this as a reset. So this, and I'm going to expose a function for the reset as well. And let's take one more function, which will be a reset function, and we need to add a reset function here. So let's add the reset here, and let's create a function. So I'm going to create a constant that will be equals to a reset, and we are going to create an arrow function, and that is going to return new value. So the new value will be my initial value. So let me add this initial value. All right, and now if I click on the reset, it will get reset to 0. So increment, decrement, and reset. So this will reset to 0. Now we can actually enhance this counter by taking a one more value, and let's take a value of 5. And what we will do, that whenever I click on the increment, the counter should get increment by 5. And when I do a decrement, the counter should get decrement by 5. So you can take one more value here, whatever value you want, and you will add the same value here. And then what you will do, and instead of adding 1, you will add the value which you get it from the initial counter. So this is how you can actually enhance it more. So this was one of the example. The other example I want to show you is a little bit more complex as compared to this. This was a very simple one. So I'm going to revert this. We are not doing that part. So I'm going to remove this, and I will also remove this as well. All right, and let's remove this here. And I have already created one more component, which is the screen component. So if I open the screen component, so right now the screen component only returns a screen component as h1. And then we have that we are in the XXX screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to import this screen component here. So let's add the screen component from dot screen component, and I will add this screen component here. All right, so I'm going to add the screen component here. All right, so as soon as I add it, it says that we are in the triple X screen. So what we want is we need to calculate the screen width, and based on the screen width, we need to decide that whether we are in a small device, a medium device, or a large device. So as soon as I change my screen width, it should get automatically changed to a medium, large, or small. So for this, we are going to write a custom hook. So let's write a custom hook. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to create a new file. And this new file, I'm going to name it as use screen.js. All right, so we have the use screen.js, and here let's export the function. So I'm going to export default function, and the name of the function will be use screen. And this use screen is not going to take any initial value here first, and we also need to make use of the use state. So I'm going to import the use state from React. All right, and then what I will do, I'm going to create a constant. I'm going to say it as screen size, and this will become set screen size. And I'm going to name it use state, so there is no initial value. And what I'm going to return from here is I'm only going to return the screen size. So let me return the screen size. All right, and this screen size will be the value whether it's a large screen, medium screen, or a small screen. So to check the screen whether it's a small, medium, or large, we need to create a function which is going to run every time, and it's going to check the screen size as soon as we increase or decrease the screen width. So I will write a constant, and my function is the check screen size. This will be an arrow function. All right, and then inside this, what I will do, I'm going to write an if condition. If the window dot inner width, if this is greater than 992, then what I want to return, I want to return the set screen size, and this screen size should be equals to the large. All right, and let me copy this for the medium and the small as well. So I'm going to copy this 2 times. So this will become medium. So I'm going to make it as medium. This will become small, and this will become large. So for the condition to return a small screen, this screen I'm going to make it at, if the screen size is less than 600, then it should return a small screen. And if the screen width is less than 992, and it's greater than 600, then we should be in a medium screen. All right, so I will change this to 600. All right, so now we have this check screen and we have made the conditions that if the screen width is between this width, then we should have the large, medium or small scale respectively. Now what we will do, I'm going to make use of a use effect. So let me import a use effect. All right, and I'm going to write a use effect, and inside the use effect, so let's add a arrow function, and this will be only called the one time whenever the component is mounted. So I'm going to add the empty array here as dependency, and we are going to call a check screen size function, and we will also do an event listener that whenever we change the width, we are going to continuously check the screen size. So I'm going to write an window dot add event listener, and the name of my event is on resize of my screen. I need to call the check screen size. All right, and let's add the cleanup function as well. So whenever the component is demount or destroyed, we need to do a cleanup. So I'm going to return a cleanup function. So this was an arrow function, and inside the cleanup function, I'm going to write window dot remove this event listener, and the name of the event is resize. All right, so we have made our custom hook, and let's try this custom hook. So I'm going to go to the component screen, and inside the component screen, I'm going to add the constant screen size, and this will be equals to the use screen. All right, and we don't want to take any initial value, and let's copy this and add this screen size. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to add the screen size here. All right, so now if we save it, then we can see that we are right now in the small screen. And if I increase the width, so let me increase this width, then it will change to the medium screen. So now we are in the medium screen. If I increase it more, then we are in the large screen. So this custom hook is actually giving us on which screen size you are. You are in a medium, small, or a large screen. So this is how you can actually write your custom hooks. So whenever you want to extract your logic from your component and you want to put it in the side, then you can create a custom hook for that. And even though if we see that this looks a little bit complex, but when we use it in our component, it's very simple. It is just defined by one single line where you call the custom hook and you get the value whatever you want and you use the value. So that's how beautiful the custom hook is. So I really like the feature of the custom hook. Whenever I want to extract my logic from the component, I create a custom hook, and inside the custom hook we can actually make use of the inbuilt hooks. So that's all I have in this video. So I hope you understood how to create the custom hooks now, and the complexity of the hooks based on your requirement. As your requirement is complex, you're going to create more complex custom hook. If the requirement is simple, you're going to create a simple React hook. I hope you liked the video. A thumbs up is appreciated. You can also connect with me via Facebook or Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter. I will add the links in the description below. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. Thank you. Thanks for watching.